Have you ever tried to build something while pretending to be somebody else? I've done that for years as a coach, and if I'm being honest, it almost killed me. The identity principle is what I was really missing. I was aiming to be the next, at that time, Lane Norton or Ben Bergeron. And it's nothing against those coaches, they're great coaches. It just wasn't who my identity was, or who I was supposed to be. So I remember when I first started coaching, I started coaching out of literally people asking me for advice. And I didn't have a desire to coach or anything like that. I just didn't want them to feel stuck because I remember being stuck in my journey. And they would ask me for help. And as I started to become a coach and got certified, I kind of got distracted off of who I was and who I thought I needed to be accepted in the industry. You guys are hearing barking. There's a dog in the neighborhood barking this early in the morning. And I literally just started trying to pattern everything after those coaches, how they built their gyms, how they talked to clients, how they wrote programming. And it worked for a while, but it always felt like I was fighting something, like I was going against who I really was. It got worse when I realized that even made more money. So I thought, if I'm going to make this my full time job, if I'm going to make this something that's credible, I have to follow their exact plan. And there's nothing wrong with learning from people, nothing wrong with courses and programs. Mine just took me away from my identity. Now, my identity is coaching from a faith based lens. My identity is really coaching from a place where people can start to see themselves differently and use fitness as a tool. I was going into the route of making fitness like their everything, and I kept fighting it. My first gym was in a closet. I was in a closet of a supplement company, a little closet, no windows. And I tried hard to make that closet look like a real gym. I had the try to get the rogue plates, the barbells, everything, and it just wouldn't. But the crazy thing was, people kept coming. It took me years to learn they were not coming because I was trying to be another coach. They were coming from the real person who I was. My identity was the real Drew cause, and I couldn't see that. With all of that, as the years progressed and I went to different gyms, I kept repeating the same pattern, even to the point where I got to my garage and I tried to make my garage look like a real gym. And it wasn't until one day where one of my clients, former clients, had saw me in a grocery store and she ran up to me. She actually ran up to my wife first, and then she saw me and she just talked about the transformation she had while working with me. None of it was about how the gym looked. None of it was even about this super cool coaching style I was trying to uh, merge myself into. It was about the real part of me, which was a faith-based led coaching from identity. That's what she got from it. And she transformed. She said nothing about the plates, nothing about any of that. When you start to realize that if I can do this from identity as a coach, as a leader, as a trainer, from who I really am and who I'm meant to be, then the stress of trying to fit somebody else's program can start to fall off of you. It would be as if you're trying to run in somebody else's shoes. They're a size 12, you're a size 8. They're going to flap. They're going to look ugly. They're not going to help you do well in your lane. And that can be heartbreaking because social media just paints a perfect picture sometimes of who you need to become. I challenge you more so of not who you need to become by looking from the outside, but first looking to God. Who have you made me to be? How have you wired me? And make your identity, uh, make a statement about your identity. I am a person who, I am a man who, I am a woman who, and let that be the foundation of how you do things. I wish I knew this 15 years ago because a lot of decisions I made as a coach, I wouldn't have made them. I would have done things based on my identity, I probably would have even stayed in that small space and just done things differently. And I started off doing it for my identity, but I got so caught up. So if you're caught up, if you're feeling that, hey, I'm studying so much people, I'm trying to be a mini version of them, you can stop. You have my permission. I want you to be the best person you're made to be and the coach trainer you're supposed to be. If you ever need help, I would recommend joining the breakthrough group where I help people actually get in shape, but I help coaches to break through some barriers in their minds to feel I need to be somebody else in order to help people out. You need to be you. Be good. Be great.